Welcome back to Real Repairs for Real Customers. I have a vehicle-specific repair today, which should be of interest to those that are primarily in the automotive field. Now, some time ago, I had the question about the Cadillac Escalade console lids that are wrinkled up, much like the door panel we had in a General Motors vehicle a few videos back. What are we doing to fix those? Well, I didn't get an answer back. But sometime later, I did get the question in return, Rick, what are you doing with these console lids? So I felt it was about time to tear one down and see exactly what the problem is and come up with a solution. Let's get to work. I believe this is the same console lid for the 2015 through 2020 Cadillac Escalade. There is a plastic cover on the underside that simply pries off. Then you have access to the Torx head screws that hold the wireless charger in place. And 4 screws will remove the console lid from the bracket. And after that, there are a few screws that will allow you to remove that plastic trim bezel. Three more screws removes the latch. Then we can break the cover loose of the staples all the way around and start peeling around the edge. So the main hurdle has been that when pulling the cover off, the foam wants to pull apart into pieces. I have found that the main problem is where this muslin fabric is glued to the foam. So if you can take a knife and start to skin it like you would skin a rabbit, let's get past that initial muslin fabric. Now already I have pulled loose a little bit of the structural foam by mistake. Okay, we can take care of that too. You'll discover that once you've got past this first seam, the entire cover will just peel right off. It's the first part that we have to be careful with. And as we found with the Suburban door panel, this glue that they're using is very tenacious. We can't complain about the strength of the glue. So it appears that the main problem is with the foam that's attached to the fabric. It gets compressed and stays wrinkled. So here I'm marking out some structural foam to replace what we pulled out. And I'll trim the void to make a little better fit. And for simplicity's sake, I'm just using
an aerosol contact adhesive, which means we'll put adhesive on both mating surfaces, but allow a good bit of time to dry first. Then just plug it in and trim it off. We'll pay closer attention next time and not have to do this. Now, because my stock vinyl does not have foam attached to it already, I have put foam over the entire console lid. I have traced out the trim piece and cut the foam out. That way, the foam will not impede that trim from sitting in properly. Here are all the pieces ready for sewing. I have the specific measurements, and then I have a seam allowance. And of course, to avoid confusion, the orientation of all the pieces is marked. If you are not currently sewing, here are a few pointers on my setup for sewing this kind of thing. On my machine, the needle can be set all the way to the left, or the middle, or all the way to the right, as you see here. Now, when it's all the way to the right, as it is here, then you can see that the edge of the presser foot is about 1/4 inch away. So if you needed a 1/4 inch seam allowance, this is where you would put the needle. With the needle in the center position, the edge of the presser foot is almost 3/8 inches away. And now, with the needle all the way to the left, we are approaching 1/2 inch to the edge of the presser foot. So with our needle all the way to the left, this is how we would run our fabric for a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Now for the decorative top stitch, I'm running my presser foot right in the valley where that blind stitch is. And I'm moving my needle all the way to the right so it is running as close to that blind stitch as possible, paralleling it. So now we've stapled the vinyl all the way around, trimmed off the excess, and we've screwed in place our plastic trim in the center and our latch, ready to go back to the vehicle. And well, that's about it. I hope that answers your questions. Sometimes it's just helpful to see it done one time, of course. Thanks for watching. We'll look for you next time.